Okay everybody, super quick recording just to show you how the Apache works with the 476 SRS, 476 mods for SRS and the current SRS 2.0.1.0. So the first thing is, what does the 476 radio mod for Apache do? Well, it does a couple of things. In this folder, Apache cockpit scripts displays EUFD pages preset. It takes out some bits here. And what that does is it removes the labels for the presets. So as it comes, there's some kind of placeholder labels included in DCS, which it doesn't appear that you can edit. So I can't work out how to put in any text to describe our preset. So rather than it saying something that's wrong next to the preset, we've just taken the text out. The other thing it does is in the actual radios here, you've got Lua files for each of the radios. And what it does is it populates this table with 10 presets for each radio. I think these are placeholders and they'll probably be going because hopefully down the line in DCS these presets that are in the mission editor will take over, but at the moment these do not make it to the aircraft, to the module, so they're not implemented. You can change these all you like, but it doesn't do anything to what's in the aircraft. You have to change those Lua files. So that's what we've done. In terms of the actual SRS settings, what do you need to do? Well, just down here in the profile specific settings, you need to make sure that radio switch works as push to talk is off, and always allow SRS hotkeys is off. So both of those, if you're doing a kind of implementation as the aircraft's designed to be used, then we're going to switch both of those off. If you're trying to do a kind of fighter jet style implementation where you've got buttons that you push that select the specific radios directly and also work as push to talks, then you'll have to use different settings. But in our case, if we're trying to replicate what's actually in the Apache on the cyclic, we're going to have both of those off. And then you need to bind just two controls. One is push to talk and the other one is special intercom select and push to talk. So that's what it does. This is going to be your PTT for your radios, and this is going to be your PTT for the intercom when it is in PTT mode. So in other words, when you're not in hot mic, this is then the PTT for your radio. So the way these are set up in the actual aircraft is that you've got a little two-way rocker switch. Pushing it one way is the radio, pushing it the other way is the intercom, and pushing down on it on the Z-axis cycles through your radios. What I've done with the volume and ear settings in the Apache is this. So I've put VHF, which is radio 1 on my left ear, UHF on both ears, the two FM radios on the right, and the HF back on equal balance. This is not realistic, but you know, that's just what I've got set up in the A10 as well, and I find it useful, so I've replicated it here for the Apache. So, and like I say, those settings disregard. So, we've got a hot start Apache, that criteria. Let's just jump in and okay, so here we are in the aircraft. I'm just going to turn the volume of the sim down a bit. There we go. So let's first look at, so that radio intercoms button we were talking about is this thing on the stick. We'll just look at some of the panels we need for the radio. So the first thing is down here in each cockpit we've got the comm panel. So you've got volumes for each radio. You've got a mute, unmute. You've got the ability to take the squelch off on different frequencies. And you've also got the mode select, a master volume, which just affects everything, and then this button, this rotator, which in reality this is the sensitivity for the Vox setting, but SRS doesn't support that. So at the moment you've got only two options that work: hot mic and press to talk. And then what this is repurposed by SRS to be the intercom volume, which is not realistic but useful for us. Okay, so that's what the comm panel does, and obviously some other aux volumes down there. In terms of the actual UFD and the MPDs, this little left pointing arrow indicates the radio that that you are selected to transmit on, and the right pointing arrow is the other crew member. And if you press down on the button on the stick, you can cycle through these radios in sequence, and that control that you need mapped is this PTT RTS switch depress. So that is to cycle through the radios. Obviously you've then got the two directions of that button, one for voice over IP, which we don't use in the 476, and once for call radio menu for the AI, and you obviously only need one of those mapped, but you will need it to talk to AWACS and stuff like that if we're going to do that, and also the ground crew potentially. So you do need a direction, you need something there or there that's not the same as your SRS PTT. Frequencies. For each radio, you've got a main frequency that you're transmitting on and a standby frequency, and you can toggle between those for the active radio you have selected with this. So that flips between them. So we go down, so we can flip 305 and 314 like that, and it'll flip them forward, backwards. If you want to get a preset, then you press the preset button, and again it affects the radio you have selected. Preset, there are your presets. The presets have taken over the warning and caution area, so your warning and caution rocker will now select a preset, and you select the one you want, 317, you hit enter, and it will populate directly into your active frequency. There you go. And then if you want to populate the standby, you can flip preset, choose a different preset, enter, and then you've got your two populated, and you can flip between them. Clicked on the wrong button. I don't know if this actually, it does reset, excellent. Press and hold on stopwatch and reset. So you can flip those, and you can do that for whichever, isn't going to show you anything, do that for whichever radio. If you want to put a manual frequency in, then you're going to go to the radio you want to put that in, and you're going to go to COM. Now these are COM presets that are not currently populated, but you can go through this page and straight to the manual subpage, which is here. And this you can do a few things. You can put in VHF guard directly. There we go. You should be able to put in UHF guard directly, but that's a dual watch, so that isn't going to change the frequency. That's just going to give you the guard, and it's in guard dual watch. Now it's monitoring guard as well as your main frequency. Toggle that off. A VHF radio doesn't have a dual watch function, so that just when you hit it, you go to guard, and then you go back to the frequency you previously had selected. It's like a toggle. And then you can also put in frequencies direct. So let's say we want to change, well, we'll change any of these. Let's change VHF. You can hit that, and what that will do is bring up down on your KU VHF. And so you can put in, 115. Work is it? 119, and you do need to put in the decimal place 119.5, but you do not need to put in trailing zeros. And then when you hit enter down here, that will populate your VHF frequency there and your active VHF frequency here. You can do that in a different order. So when I change FM1, we can wake up the KU 35.25. Didn't manage to put the decimal place in, 35.25. And then we can choose what radio. Okay, let's put that in FM1. It's kept the number FM1. Enter FM1 35.25. Then we could flip that across, could select it, flip it, 35.25 in standby. Now we could put in, enter, and then we're in there. And we've got two frequencies that we can flip-flop. You cannot change your preset frequencies at the moment. At least not in any way that I am aware of. These will go directly into here. You can't get in and edit this. This is purely read out of the presets into the active frequency. So at the moment, that's what you can do with the comms in DCS. You've got manual frequencies, presets, active. When you get rid of the preset menu, if you decide you don't want to do anything, just hit preset again, it goes away. Active, standby, and all your comms rockers, including hot mic and PTT for the intercom. So lots of things. If you want them to do at the moment. We'll make another video when either SRS updates or we get the comm page of the aircraft.